Hi everybody, my name is Alessandro De Paulis. I'm from Italy. I'm representing TecnoBody, Italian company, and today we're going through the features of the Walker View. The Walker View is a treadmill with a sensorized platform. So there is a force plate with 8 load cells plus an integration of 3-dimensional camera. According to that, the Walker View can run from 0.2 kilometers an hour up to 20 kilometers an hour with the increasing of the 0.2, 0.2, 0.2 kilometers an hour. And you can use the inclination from 1 to 15% of inclination, plus we have a speed automatic control. This is an innovation in terms of technology in which basically the treadmill is going to follow the speed of the patient on the treadmill. That's the technology we are using, plus you can see also the smart gravity. The smart gravity is a system, is an unweight system that allows to have maximum 80% of load suspended by for the patient. Plus, we have, of course, classical safety instruments like the magnet, okay, and the red button to stop the system for emergency case. One of the greatest features in the Walker View is represented by the speed control that represents an adaptive speed of the treadmill with the patient. The camera can recognize the position of the person on the treadmill. So if the person is going forward, close to the camera, the treadmill is going to accelerate. Vice versa, if the patient is going backward, the camera can see the distance, so the treadmill is going to slow down till the end, till to stop. So the patient is able to decide his or her own proper speed. Now we're going to have a look inside the features of the software, in the interface, how to operate and what to choose in between all these features. The first step we're going to do into the Walker View is to create a new profile of the patient through the personal data button. Once you get access to this interface, you select New, and you need to insert at least the mandatory fields indicated by the software. You can use the touchscreen and you fill up with the family name, okay, birthday. You can keep clicking and select the year, okay, month and date, gender, body weight and height. Once you select, when you fill up the fields, the mandatory fields, then you can save, and the new patient now will be in the list. Once we created the new patient, now we're going to select the patient on the top to start the session with him or with her. The first feature we are looking at is represented by the gait analysis that you can find inside the assessments. Into the options for the gait analysis, you can either choose if you are testing a healthy person or eventually orthopedic or neurological patient. According to the different settings, you will find different suggested speed if you talk about normal person, or eventually selecting orthopedic or neurological patient will be the physiotherapist deciding the proper speed for that kind of patient. When you get into the configuration of the gait analysis, you can choose into different settings of speed, in the way that software will offer the possibility to go at a fixed speed that is called classical speed, or you can choose to perform the gait analysis through the speed control. As we said before, is an adaptive system for the movement, or eventually you can pick and select the speed from a warm-up. So after you will perform a warm-up, the speed of the gait analysis will take in consideration the latest speed of the warm-up. You can even set the timing of the gait analysis from a minimum of 30 seconds up to 2 minutes according to the condition of the patient, and you can even flag a button with hide feedback, so the patient will not be able to see himself or herself in front of him, and so it will be like a blank mirror, and you ask the patient only to walk. Now that we choose all the parameters for the gait analysis, the patient can start with the assessment. After completing the gait analysis, the software offers 3 pages of results. In the first page, we can analyze the symmetries of the patients thanks to the camera and the force plate. The camera is explaining us the control or not control of the trunk in terms of flexion, extension on the sagittal plane, and the side bending, always about the trunk on the frontal plane. We can moreover interpret the range of motion of the right and the left hips, and as well about the knees in terms always about range of motion. The force plate provides us other information as the step length and the symmetry in between the right and the left step length, and contact time and the load at the moment of the heel strike, so to check any difference between right and the left load. We can notice already some yellow bands that identifies the normative data for that parameter at that speed. In the second page of the report, after performing a gait analysis, we have the opportunity to analyze the video replay. We can go to the normal speed of the video, or we can even slow down. Thanks to the possibility to draw targets and lines on the screen, we can promote or we can provide more feedback, more information in terms of the quality of the movement. In the video section, we can also analyze the graphics for each of the parameters that we saw in the page 1, so we can really analyze the details from all the gait. In the final section of the report, after performing a gait analysis, we can have the kinematics of the gait, of the different parameters that the gait analysis offers to us. In particular, we can see the yellow bands that are representative of normative data for all the parameters for the trunk, hips, knees, load, and center of gravity. So we can really understand if the patient above the symmetries is inside these parameters, or eventually we need to increase some specific movement. Another important feature that you can find into the software of the Walker View is represented by the gait trainer. This gait trainer feature offers the possibility of retraining the gait, so the walking through biofeedback offered both by the camera and the force plate. Basically, we can choose in between all the parameters, all the settings we saw into the gait analysis, this time in order to offer a possibility to recover for the patient. In the main interface, you can select training library and then gait trainer that will offer the best feature in terms of gait training for the patient. You have different settings, and you can then configure this gait training according to the different needs of the patient, selecting by the feedback that you will receive both by the force plate and eventually by the camera. Once you get into the gait training interface, on the top you can select the different feedback, selecting or deselecting you want to work with your patient. You can select up to 3 feedback at a time, and these biofeedback are coming either from the force plate or from the camera. According to the different settings in the gait trainer, you can choose 3 different views in front of the patient, so he will get the best feedback according to the different need. You can choose in the settings the different feedback you want to work with your patient in order to provide more symmetries in terms of rehabilitation. Once you select one or more parameter, you can even choose a different configuration, different view for the patient to provide the real feedback, real-time feedback for the parameter you set. After selecting the different feedback, we can see the different configuration, the different view in front of the patient. In this case, we're working on step length. That's why this view is perfect to work with the step length. But eventually, we can skip to a different view in order to be able to provide the correct biofeedback even for the kilograms, for the load, or for the step height, or for all the other parameters. So the software offers 3 different views according to the different settings to provide the best feedback to the patient. The last feature of the Walker View is represented by the virtual reality. The virtual reality training represents a way to teach again or to see how the patient is going to react into kind of normal daily life activities. After the patient is going to perform the virtual reality, the software will provide anyway a report in terms of symmetry, in terms of quality of the walking without any feedback. So after the gait trainer, the virtual reality represents kind of check for the patient in order to see if there is a progression of into the rehabilitation process or not. We cover the 3 main features of the Walker View through the gait analysis, gait trainer, and the virtual reality. Of course, the software offers even more possibilities in terms of more features, in terms of analysis, of assessments, as the run analysis, 6 minutes walking test, Cooper test, and bulky test. And in terms of training, you can find either more training in terms of cardio, managing the speed and the inclination of the treadmill, of the Walker View. You can find all this information in the clinical manual that you can download straight away from the software. I hope the training was helpful and that your patients can really get good benefit from the use of the Walker View. Anyway, for any more additional information you wish to receive, please just go into TecnoBody.com.